Well, here we are. It's Monday the 8th of March and we're in the High Cross Cinema on a Monday morning, very empty, an event launching the Backing Young Britain campaign, and we're joined by Maria. Is it Maria?
Yes.
Fantastic. Now, Maria's just started recently at Stride as one of the apprentices. I mean, are you enjoying it?
I am. I'm absolutely loving it there at the minute. It's a lot of fun, basically. I've got my confidence back. I made new friends, I'm learning new skills, and there's not much more you can ask for, really, to be quite fair.
Now, you were on the case study there. They actually showed a small video of you working hard at the desk. It seems quite a position of responsibility as well, coordinating what goes on at the warehouse.
Yeah, well, I deal with stock, coding up stock, sending it out to shops, deal with deliveries, probation certificates, so there's a certain routine you get into every day, and you have to make sure it's done so the day runs smoothly, otherwise it's just a complete mess if you're not into a certain routine and regime every day.
Brilliant. Now, you also said at the end of it that one of your aspirations was to go on to a career maybe as a probation officer and things like that. I mean, do you think apprenticeships and certainly what you're doing at Stride, the local social enterprise, is giving you the necessary skills and maybe your confidence, as you said, to go and pursue that career? While
you're working in these apprenticeships we're getting, you see different areas that you never would have thought of. Before I started at Stride, I would never have thought, I might work with probations, because probation people tend to get a bad name who relates it to one thing, but they're so nice and they're just like every other person. The person that works in the office is exactly the same, and it gives you that chance to want to help somebody else. You want to help them get somewhere, like I've been helped, and I want to give that back to other people.
Maria, thank you very much. Excellent. We're going to catch up with Hollie. Now, Hollie's the deputy editor of Wave, the young people's newspaper here in Leicester. Now, Hollie, you've been interviewing a few people. Tell us who you've interviewed so far.
I've interviewed Tim Campbell, who was the first winner of The Apprentice, who's kind of gone on to be his own man, as to say. He's a brilliant man, brilliant businessman, an excellent speaker, is very interesting, who's, I think it's fair to say, kind of like the face of Backing Young Britain, to get young people involved in apprenticeships and things like that. And I've also interviewed the Minister for the East Midlands, which was Phil Hope, who again was another really interesting man.
Now, it was interesting to hear you interviewing Phil when he was saying he actually ran a social enterprise himself, hasn't he, before he's got into politics and stuff. So he has an understanding of the whole sort of, the third sector and the way things can work really well. He seemed a very big advocate and very keen for young people and stuff. Did you manage to speak to him at all about Wave and the opportunity to give young people a voice?
Well, I didn't speak to him directly about Wave, but I think the way it was, he was speaking about how he's got experience in running his own social enterprise, which was, I think that's very important for him, becoming part of this whole scheme at the minute, for him to have experience. I think he seems quite interested in the whole Wave idea, and I think by the way he was talking, I think it was very important for him, for the young people to actually have a voice and for them to express them in the way that they want to.
Now, he was asked a question about young people's perceptions in the mainstream media and how something like Waves gives young people an opportunity to say what they're about and what they think. As the deputy editor and having written a few articles in it, I mean, why are you involved in the Wave project?
I think just basically because it's important for people like myself, not just like me, but for any young person my age to kind of do what they want. I mean, it's not just, I don't just do it for the experience, because I enjoy it, and I want to influence the other young people who are like me, encourage them to get involved and for them to express their own views in the way in which they're capable to. So I think I want to kind of impact their lives in the way of influence them in doing what they want to do.
Well, I think we've got ourselves a good role model here in Maria, so maybe we'll catch up with Maria in one of the future issues. I think that's an absolute must, isn't it?
Thank you.
Brilliant. Right, thanks, Hollie. Now, what I'm going to do, finally going to catch up with Dave Brazier. Now, if Hollie just moves that crutch out of the way, because it looks like, Dave, that they're yours, but they're not. Poor old Hollie's still on them after a year. So, Dave, thanks very much for agreeing to speak to us. Can you just tell us what you said there at the beginning? Because, again, a lot of people may not be aware of the exciting news that you've got today about the Stride Social Enterprise.
We have just been approved to take on an additional 96 people who have been unemployed, and we'll be employing them for a minimum of 6 months at Stride, engaged in a whole variety of different jobs. And it's great to be able to announce that. And, you know, when we are in times of some doom and gloom, to be able to bring a bit of sort of a lighter air to things and a positive thing. And a lot of the people will be taking on, 60 of them at least, will be aged 18 to 24, young people, and they are the sort of future of our business, if you like.
Now, are you absorbing those people into your existing service offering, like the hairdressing and the catering and the motor mechanics and the furniture warehousing, or are you creating new projects as well?
Mostly what we're doing is absorbing them into existing activities that we're involved in. We've just recently opened a new garage, so we've got a lot of opportunities in the area of motor mechanics. We've branched out a little bit as well to work with partner organisations to get people placed with them, like the High Point Conference Centre or Hits Homes Trust, which is a project for young people who have difficulties with finding accommodation. So those are the kinds of areas where we've been working with other people to put one or two young people into their employment, because perhaps they're not big enough to run a scheme of their own but want to be involved in it. So that's really good from our point of view as well, to be able to create a bit of variety. And we've moved people around. You know, we took somebody on who we initially thought was going to be involved in making furniture, but it turned out he was more interested in repairing cars, so we moved him over to the motor mechanics side of things. And we can do that in the business like Stride, because we've got a lot of different activities involved in horticulture and motor mechanics, hairdressing, catering, and so on. So we've got a lot of different roles, and what we like to do, obviously, is find a role that suits people if we can.
Brilliant. Well, thanks very much, Dave, for agreeing to talk to us. Thank you very much, guys. Enjoy the rest of the day.